Hey team, how we going? It is Kaz here. Hopefully the volume is fine. Hopefully the visuals are not too bad considering I've got this shank on my lip, whatever that is. Guys and gals, at any stage, if I have to get out of here like I'm hiding in an Iranian bunker, that is because I've been dropping my own massive ordnance, what do they call them? Penetrators. Myself. The Crohn's disease is kicking in really bad, and I can't get off the loo. Scotty Reid, respect Trump, woke will continually cry proactive, not reactive. Absolutely. G'day, mate. Hope all is well up north. Where are you there, KM Travels? I'm in Sydney. We've got a lot of good news on today. Looking forward to this chat, K&M. I'll look forward to it. You let me know some questions, what you want to see, and I'll bring them to you. Nabes, how you going, mate? G'day, Kaz and team. We'll wait for a couple, and then we're going to put this on, and I'm going to explain to you what should be the answer that you give to the critically malaligned, never happy, upside down smile, but no answer for anything as a suggestion, as the alternative. I've had a lot to mull over with this. And there's some interesting information. Did you know that 64% of actual death penalty cases in 2024 all happened in Iran? Did you know that? More than 900. And when you see what you can lose your life for by these clerics, the mullahs, the religious police, consider this. Imagine if you lived next door to someone that was a religious figure in Iran and you had some sort of neighbours dispute with them. How hard would it be for them to find issue with you, your wife, your kids, that can ultimately and terminally end you living next door to them? That easy. For those that don't know, Reza Shah in 1979, I believe, was opposed then. Since then, there's no women in skirts, no women in dresses, no autonomy and decision, etc. making by females in Iran. It is not a free country, and you can get snuffed out real quick on Trump charges, so to speak. So, what we've seen in the last few days, a lot of people are a little bit conflicted, and we are going to get it to what's happening today, which I'm talking about with priority role being reopened for Australian infantry. Speaking to people at the School of Infantry today, there's almost no one at Coral Platoon except for the platoon that is marched in there today. 30 people, I believe, from 5 and 6 platoon in from Kapuka. We've got nothing but good news today. Infantry's reopened. We've got people turn up to recruiting today for Oath of Affirmation. They get to Kapuka tomorrow. We've got guys at Singleton as of the last hour. We've got guys at Singleton, Coral Platoon. G'day, Andrew Hewitson. Make sure you subscribe, team, so that I can see it come up on the screen. We can all make you feel welcome. We've got the guys that are currently sitting there from Coral Platoon that have just passed their hardcore and now part of the Royal Australian Regiment. One thing I don't agree with, if you're an officer and you're out there listening to this one for a second, I'll get to you guys in two seconds. It is not the CO's privilege or an officer's to hand a Skippy badge to a soldier as he earns his Royal Australian Regiment Skippy badge. Bam, made in China. These are what determine, that we have gone through the hard yards at the School of Infantry 16-week course with our brothers and passed. That should be handed to you by your section commander, the guy that also went out and taught you everything, not someone that was in a CP or on a carpeted floor. It should be the person who actually taught you and put the time into you, the person that's going to meet your family, the one that knows your name and knows what your dog's name is as well, and the one that could potentially become your father if your single mum has come from Adelaide and decides, she'd like to cash in the old Mr. Him and now have a father from the Royal Australian Regiment. Got Lightyfoot. G'day, buddy. Look, Cal, good afternoon, mate. Sounds like I just missed it, but I hope you're feeling better. I'm not. I'm not. I was going to put this off for another day, but it's been too long. You deserve more. Mr. Buckaroony, not Sir Cal, silent salute to you right now, my man. Our battalions need to get back to 4 rifle companies. Yes, they do. We need 1 to 9 Royal Australian Regiment battalions, as during Vietnam. Yes, we do. It was quite sad when 7RR actually, when they got basically disbanded and it became 5-7 again up in Darwin, what actually happened was a sleight of hand. What occurred was it actually got rid of a battalion. 5 and 7 relinked in name. Some soldiers went from the home of the single mums up to Darwin, and the rest went to the 3rd Battalion to bolster them up. So in actual fact, we sacrificed an entire battalion, just to bump up those. When I was in the army 10 years ago, the battalions all had 4 rifle companies: Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta. Yep. Yeah. Now they don't. Right. Blakey, how you going, mate? G'day, Kaz. Long time. Hope you're well. We just had a fantastic get-together. For all those on Patreon, we put the word out there on Wednesdays and Saturdays. You can come on there. It's like a man's group, but females are invited as well. And you can come on there and we can talk shit, not recorded, not forecast, that allows you to communicate about things that we can't put on YouTube. And we get a bit of free speak where people get to come on there, regardless of where their position is in the world, as long as there's no insubordination or disrespect, and have a good time. It went for 3 hours the other night. No breakups. It was great. Deborah. G'day, Deb. How you going? G'day, Kaz from Cairns. I love Cairns. I'll be up there as soon as my bum repairs, my friend, to come up and see my brother. Not by blood. Camp Travels Melbourne here. Always interested in hearing your perspective on these situations. And KM, this one's going to be for you tonight. You're going to love it. The Lanky Warrior. G'day, Kaz and everyone. G'day, Lanky. How you going, mate? Domingo. Good name. National service in an Iron Dome program will guarantee Australia's security. What do you reckon? I don't think we need an Iron Dome. I don't think we're a target. I think we're an economic target for the Red Corn Ship. I think the South China Seas, Australia doesn't really have the power to dominate in those. We used to have one of the best navies in the world. We don't anymore. National service, I think, is absolutely should be on the cards. If not to protect our borders, then to at least solidify adulthood to Australians, give them a sense of purpose, give them a sense of brotherhood, give them a sense of nationalism. I think we could do that and we can capture our youth, because there's so many that are getting left behind, listening to loud captains that don't wish them well. Albanese, fuck yeah. It doesn't have the same ring, does it? Coming to save the motherfucking day, yeah. Charlie Lever. G'day, Kaz. Hope you're well, mate. Removed infantry from my preference list. Oh, got told they're full up. No, they're not. No, they're not. Guess the gates are back open. Yes, they are, Charlie. They're back open. And we actually got a call from one of our Patreon members today that was told, hey, buddy, just letting you know. G'day, drone pilots. How you going, mate? Great to have you here. Thank you. Maybe we can put something up the bum of that drone and make it more kinetic than the ones we've got. So we got a call from someone today that DFR done a great job, rang them up and said, oi, young fella, just letting you know your first preference is back on there. If you want to come to infantry, let's do that. And he did. We've got Scotty Reid, agreed, Domingo. So do I. We've got Wasp, Navy. G'day, how cool was that B2 strike package? We're about to talk about it now. Taking my affirmation, getting on the bus tomorrow. Dobes! Fantastic. Great to hear. In winter, that sucks. Jenny G, g'day from up north, mate. And Wingy, thank you very much for the other night, my brother. It was great to see your old head, on the get-together. Really good. Mr. Buccarini, I stood with Bob Catter today as he called for more defence spending. There you go. If we do that, we might just get the Commander-in-Chief come and say g'day to us. Yeah, Nathan Veteran, Navy veteran. He's in Darwin now. Darwin is not so bad if you guys, you're there in fucking winter. after posting there, take the bull by the horns. There you go. Let's see you go in summer, my man. Brady, always good to have you here, moderator. Yoshi, hey Kaz, how's your how your right mate just came back from doing the dishes? Hope I haven't missed much. You haven't. Do you think Australia is going to be dragged into Iran war? No, I don't think there's going to be an Iran war, and we're about to talk about that. Howdy, Zach Woods. Thank you very much, mate. Howdy back to you. Redman's been a while. G'day, buddy. Willie, the army would have their numbers if there was more trust. Sound obvious, but damn the whole COVID thing. Absolutely. The world changed. There's multiple teams now, and you're very, very right. Spot on. Zachy Woods, I'm in Singer at the moment, and she's not full, that's for sure. Yep. I heard there's about 30 or so in Gallipoli platoon, and you've got another 30 that were talking to me on the bus today. Drone Pilots Queensland, X3RR, Old Faithful. Respect to you, mate. Do you wear your beret on Anzac Day? Shame no airborne battalion these days. Just subbed. Good to have you here. Could use your advice as well, mate. I was just watching the D-Day operation on Band of Brothers today. Always gets me hard, as they say. Jaden Wade. Hey, Kaz. Medical next week for infantry. After a year of waiting, pumped his brother. Looks like we are getting punched in fast. Absolutely. Guys, how come you aren't on Patreon? Let me have these conversations. Help me to help you. It's in description below. Go down there for a coffee a month. Jump on here. I've got a young fella who's having coffee with me tomorrow. It's going to be a treat, as long as the toilet's not without toilet paper. And we learn from each other. But also, we've got a very, very high success rate at getting people that have got dramas into the Royal Australian Regiment and other areas. I think I'm the only one that actually does it. It's crazy that people don't opt to do it. Join the Black Legion. See you there, and let's talk tomorrow. Charlie Lever. Yeah, I saw that, mate. Two top preferences was artillery. So sticking that one out. Hopefully getting Artillery Observer. Artillery Observer just closed, I believe. Nearly done the application, taken time. Okay, just make sure you check those ones out, mate. G'day, Joshy Fawns. How you going? We've got Van Hauser. Very German. Pigs in distress? That's okay. I won't eat bacon tomorrow. Voice. Process to join is taking extremely long. It is. Yep, and it's one of the bugbears. As we know, when I joined the military, you got in and you knew in the day that you went in, everything was in person. You went in, you did a U session. Ultimately, we went and did an aptitude test to make sure you weren't, wasting the Army's time. But after that, what occurred was you went and did the assessment, the medical, the psych, everything. And then you got told at the end of the day, yep, you're in. You'll get a date given to you in the mailbox, because we used to get paid in cash in those days. Shark infested waters, Kaz, the old toilet bowl. Yeah, absolutely. Exactly that. Ozan and Kaz, I think a reason infantry is a priority again is due to how many people in career platoon at School of Infantry. It seems many got taught in infantry by DFR just to get in the door quicker, but didn't want infantry. It wouldn't make sense to me to go into a professional athlete's role if that's not exactly what you want. You've got to be careful what you ask for, because if you get it, it's hard. And I'll tell you now, training can be harder than operations. Navy veterans, support the stream by giving it a thumbs up. Yes, you can. Or you can become a member and watch your name go green, or any donation that's ever made will go towards my daughter's stock portfolio in case that my bum has me not on this earth as long as what I thought I was going to be. Okay, let's have a look at this for a second, and then we're going to extrapolate what's happening around Australian infantry as well. But it's important. This is very topical. I don't know what your thoughts are at the moment, what anyone's thoughts are on Donald Trump, but I'll tell you now, I believe that he is now the world's president. I believe peace through strength. This absolutely had to fucking occur. Had to occur. And I'll explain something to you in a minute. Don't think Trump. Think necessity, denial of a potential nuclear protagonist, that has promised, this is not propaganda, has said they will use it on Israel or America, should they get their hands on one, or even start to sell them themselves to their proxy states, terrorism states. Don't not believe them when they tell you exactly what they want to do. Let's listen to this one first as the lion comes into the room. Let's go.
Thank you very much.
By the way, team, what you're looking at there, because so much has been happening, this is world history that you're watching now. History starts with yesterday. Yeah? It's modern history, but it started there. Okay, let's go.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin Kane, spectacular general, and all.
You could not have a better name than Raisin Kane. That sounds like it's out of a Batman movie. Incredible, incredible. And I am really grateful that I don't know if there was any casualties in Iran when they did these bombings. Also, there was no casualties amongst the B-2 bombers, and they got home safely after saving the world from a possible apocalypse. Let's keep going.
All of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight.
Remember those words. They are the only military, the only that can do this, the only ones. So the logistics of the Air Force that prepared this, and the intelligence community, and the gallant pilots that went into those planes and did this for world peace, you've got to take your hat off to that. Absolutely amazing.
Not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It'd be very hard to say Inshallah at the moment, as God wills it, or Allah Akbar if you're in Iran, unless you're against your own regime. Because at the end of the day, everything seems to be just going like it's on rails, like their own God wants these missiles going as well. Okay, team, I'd love to see Australia get a Squadron B-21 spirits. I don't know what they are. I'm actually starting to get a little bit of a soft spot for the RAF, Mr. Buckaroony. They're so sexy these days, the actual planes. B-Boy, yep, I totally agree, my man. Well done to the United States and Australia has its back. Absolutely we do. And we always normally get there before the US. Remember that too. Just a quick one here. You know, just for the appreciation that was given by a state as small as New Jersey or Manhattan. Well, it's bigger than that, but...
Congratulations, President Trump. Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history. In Operation Rising Lion, Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do.
Yep.
History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons. His leadership today has created a pivot of history that can help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace. President Trump and I often say, peace through strength. First comes strength, then comes peace. And tonight, President Trump and the United States acted with a lot of strength. President Trump, I thank you. The people of Israel thank you. The forces of civilization thank you.
And so they should.
God bless America. God bless Israel. And may God bless our unshakable alliance, our unbreakable faith.
Mate, absolutely fantastic. Guys, wait 2 seconds. I'll put something else in the background. Okay. What I was going to get at is, now is, at the moment, if someone doesn't like, for example, Donald Trump, you'd have to tell him to shut up, because he's the only world leader that is showing any strength whatsoever. Keir Starmer, Zelensky, all of these people that are talking about peace, Trudeau from Canada, no one even knows who's in charge of New Zealand. All of these different countries, the one guy that went and got this shit done did it. He didn't ask for permission. He knew he had to do it. So what I'd say to someone that is wondering, should have America done this? Some of his base said, don't get involved in a war. He hasn't started a war. What he's done is equivalent to taking a weapon away from someone that has made open threats of what they're going to do once they have that weapon. So he's denied them a capability from someone that shouldn't be trusted to play with sharp objects, and shows in their past, by the way they treat their own goddamn people, imagine what they do if you're an enemy. Now, picture this. Take Donald Trump's name out of it, and let's say that it is Keir Starmer from the UK. Let's say that it is anyone from any country you want. Let's just say that Alan is a world leader, and he's part of a country that is the only country that has the ability to stop a rogue nation from actually using a nuclear weapon on whoever they decide to use it on, because they're not just going to make one, they're going to make multiple, and they're going to use them. And when they do, they'll probably use them all at once for massive effect. Now, if Alan doesn't use his sole ability that no other country can do, then the blood is on his hands. Like so many judges in today's society that allow people out on bail that shouldn't, and that are never held accountable for the death of Kate Steinleys, for Anita Cobbies, for all of these different people that we lose to grotesque bad actors that everyone knew about but no one did anything about. Now, Donald Trump had the chance to make a decision and he made the decision. Who dares wins. He didn't go in there and obliterate the people. He didn't target the people. And he's even allowed the Ayatollah to live, to come back to the peace table straight away. This is peace through strength, absolutely. And I think the world should be proud of him. I believe that this is a Nobel Peace Prize moment. I really do. He hasn't started a war. Do you think Iran is just going to sit back and do nothing? I don't think they have the power to do anything, Dittler, anything, other than local terrorism in other countries. That's it. You know, his missiles are ineffective. He doesn't have ground troops that he can push across a border. He's basically landlocked by other Arab nations. You know, and at the moment he has no GBAD, which is ground-based air defence, to take out either Iran or US forces or coalition forces that decide to take out anything that he tries to step up with. You know, is there a problem from Russia? I don't think so. Everyone knows that Iran is a pest, their regime. The people, on the other hand, do yourself a favour. Go and have a look on there and look before the Islamic Revolution, you know, what Iran was like. It was spectacular. The women are some of the most beautiful in the world, and they were happy. The kids were happy. Now, you know, you can go back and forth between the public executions they have, hanging people from cranes, you know, cutting arms and legs off, you know, for theft, trumping up charges, finding something wrong to get rid of political dissidents. And you can't overthrow them because it's a religious position. It's terrible. And the people don't like them either. But what can you say? What are you going to say, Dittler? He hasn't started a war. Do you think Iran is going to sit back? Okay. You know, I'm not sure what angle you're going to come from, but what I would say to you is, what would you recommend instead? That he gave them benefit of the doubt and think that a bully is going to go, you know what, they didn't hit me when they could have, so let's go easy on the other people that we've promised to kill the second we've got the chance. Don't take it too seriously when we burn your national flag inside our actual Parliament House. Yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah. Iran might not have the power, but they've got contacts with people who do. I don't think they do. I don't think they do. There's already talks happening between Saudi Arabia for life after the Ayatollah. He handed his power over to the Revolutionary Guard, you know, so that he won't get actually found by Mossad and treated like julienne fries. You know, so just ask yourself, what would you do if you were the person in charge and then you got the opportunity? You've been saying this for nearly 10 years. He's said it more than 100 times that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon system. He gave 60 days for them to say, okay, and turn the switch off. They couldn't. This is not about nuclear power. This is about nuclear weapons. Yeah. Yeah. The leaders you mention are just puppets. Yeah, but we know who isn't, and that's Donald Trump. Joshy, voice, anyone know how long to get the PFA date sorted or job offer, etc.? Mate, you'll get 3 options of different dates for your PFA, mate. Sadly, we had someone the other day, I don't know how he managed to do it, fail all 3 components. Anyway, I prepared 4 years, still ended up injured. Absolutely. It's a, you know, it really is a CrossFit challenge, joining the military. Kaz, do you reckon us blokes, future Australian Army soldiers, should be cautioning going out into the Army because of future wars? No. As a matter of fact, Yoshi, I honestly believe, have you heard of Pax Romana? Pax Romana is a period that went for nearly 200 years during the Roman Empire, when there was a series of fantastic leaders. 2 of them were gay, to tell you the truth. And basically what happened was there was peace through strength during their leadership. So Rome had its most prosperous years and the zenith, of their existence in the Western Empire during the Pax Romana. And maybe this is the Pax Americana. All they've got to do is bring in laws in America and Australia and Canada and Britain. Burn a flag, jail, 1 year, no parole. That is not freedom of speech. That is a traitor. Here's a quick one for you. How much would you have to get paid to burn an Australian flag? I can't think of a number. I'd want the money. Of course I'd want the money. But I could not think of a figure that I would say yes and burn our country's flag. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Mr. Buccarini says the fella he's failed all three components of the PFA, which is the easiest fitness test that there's ever been. Give it away. We don't want people like that in the army. No heart or drive. It's hard to disagree. Want 'em. Love you, Kaz. Got my PFA on Thursday, going for infantry, but you bet your ass I'm maxing all the tests. I've already there in my head, mate. Cheers, brother. Want 'em? I know you will. I want to know the scores. If you can, get on that Patreon. I want to see the scores. I want to know that all you little guys are like little fires that when I stamp, you just go off and you spread the good energy, the help and the support for those around you, because this is where leaders are made. Leaders are made at the bottom. Some of the most, the best and genuine leaders I've ever seen are at private level. Sure, they don't have a responsibility, just like people can give advice to parents until they are a parent. I get it. But when you see people at the private level that do more, that bring people together through not just lethality, but capability and confidence, it's a fantastic thing. It keeps the wheels on while the NCOs are away doing orders and doing their shit. Callum, our leaders already burnt our flag's value. Yeah. That's why I say, mate, you'll never hear anyone singing Albanese, fuck yeah. Zenon, I don't know how anyone can fail all three. It takes skill. I was not very fit right out of school, so I trained and didn't apply. Look, how's this for a standard? I'm wondering what's going on with the channel. It's getting harder and harder to make videos because the channel is actually getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And then I went on to YouTube today and I typed in Australian infantry training. Now, I've made 1,000 videos, 1,000. In the past 10 years, I've been doing this to support people. And watch this. Where's our first video of In the Trenches with Kaz? You ready? Wait 2 seconds. Let's have a look. Okay. We're going down. Oops, what have I done? Let's go. No. Defence Australia, that's fine. Defence, I guess. Doug Lightbody, sorry, buddy, haven't heard of you. He's got 162 subscribers. He got 10,000 views for that. Okay. 4 years ago, Defence, okay. Let's keep going. Hardcore, yeah, I've done those videos before. I'm not on that. Infantry Commander, Urban Training, all right. Let's keep going. We're starting to get the hint. OBS course, Duke Gloucester Cup, yeah, I've done those too. Yep. Kapuka, yep. Yep, let's go. No, not here yet. How to pack a field pack. Yeah, great. Okay, let's keep going. I've got people from other countries starting to show up now. Yep, still haven't got a single video up there. Yep. What is Kapuka has come up as Australian infantry training, so I'm still not up here yet. Let's go. Let's go. Let's keep going. Yep, still not up here. Battle of Capiong, righto. Well done, 3 area, Old Faithful. Okay, we're still continuing on. We're down on the 5th page of YouTube now. Okay, 6th page. Okay, well, bam, there's our first video 2 years ago. So it takes 7 to 8 pages before you'll even come to one of our videos of our channel. And I'm the only channel that does this to support people. Team, it is getting harder and harder to turn up here. Maybe they're starting to win, eh? Maybe they're starting to win. G'day, Jelena. How you going, hey? It's been a while. Econo memes. Good to see you there, mate. Callum, I've done my defence application. Progress twice. Was issued with the reapply in 2 years. On Thursday to school, my sec. Paid my defence application. Not progressed twice. Was issued with a reapply in 2 years. On Thursday, just gone. Is this the Callum I was speaking to today, bud? Man. I'm sorry, dude. How old are you now, Callum? Woods up. YouTube gods must really hate this channel. They do. ADF videos are bare as fuck. Yeah, they are. Alan, Acapulco, my morning duty included keeping the flagpole area clean on the parade ground. It was good. Yeah, you got to find yourself a spot. How's it going, mate? I am. You are what? Chuck him a thumbs up. Thanks, Craw Daddy. I don't mind a bit of seafood. Yeah, so I'm not trying to be bitter with the team, but it is getting really hard to keep getting out there. Maybe we need to change. Maybe we need to change from military and go and do some other subjects that are interesting. HD Casual Legend spoke a while ago. Finally, shit got moving. Swearing my oath tomorrow in Brisbane. Then can't wait to get to Kapooka for IETs. So you're going to. Okay, then can't wait to get to Pooks in IT's reserves. Okay, got ya. Make sure you do it. Make sure it's prepared and be ready that you're going to get addicted, okay, to the process. Everyone that goes to reserves tends to get addicted with it, man. Callum, 23, so they want you to try again when you're 25. If I've already been speaking to a Callum today. If you're a separate Callum, you know, when you get a chance, jump on Patreon. We'll have some discussions, see if we can't reskin this cat together. Georgie, Kaz, I just got, I searched up Australian Infantry training and your content starts coming up on the 3rd page. Okay, for me, might be because I watch your content, who knows. Wow, 3rd page, but that's interesting, isn't it? Former Instructor of the Year, you know, and I can't even get my videos on the 1st page after doing 1,000. Okay, Kaz, I march out of Singo this Friday. Any tips for the battalion? Absolutely, Joshy Barnes. Barnes is one of the best infantry names you can possibly have. Go and watch the movie Platoon and you'll see why. It's fantastic. So, when you get to the battalion, remember you're joining them and you're joining them after basically the financial year, which means you're probably going to be getting into brigade level, live fires, brigade level, and then army level activities and exercises. So when you turn up there, the area, they've already been running pretty hard at this stage. When you turn up, you're going to do an acclimation cycle probably that's going to get you any other qualifications that you need to get you into a platoon. Then you're going to be allocated to a rifle company. Inside that rifle company, you're going to be allocated to a platoon. You're going to be required to do another BFA when you get to the battalion to make sure that you're AIRN compliant. So that you can go out in a field environment. And then from there, you're going to be given your accommodation, probably a battle buddy. You'll be put into a platoon. The first thing you need to do when you get to a platoon in an infantry battalion, it doesn't matter if you're 6'4" or 5'8", you know, is just ask the guys, so when do I put my carton of beer over to say thank you? You know, can't wait to be here and be part of the team. Because that tells them you're here for the right reasons. You know, and the whole point about giving a carton on a boozer parade, you know, if they still choose to have them, is that you put that carton there and that allows them to have a beer with you that you're provided, you know. And from there, you might get accepted fairly quickly. What normally happens when you go to a battalion environment is the lids. You'll be called a lid. It's not an insult. Everyone is a lid for their first year. You'll have a competency logbook, which is a blue folder, which is all of the things that need to be ticked off by the platoon sergeant, okay, to get you your private proficiency that has a hefty pay rise to it as well in the battalion. So go out with the guys. You don't have to drink, but at least offer to drive if you don't want to drink. And just listen, watch, see who the real players are, see the pecking order, see where you fit in, and then from there, just really put in PT. That's where you make your mark. PT, okay, out in town socially with the lads, or going to the gym with them, going to dinner with them, whatever they're doing, and finish every activity. Finish every activity. It doesn't matter if you're sore. There's a massive difference from being injured and being sore. If you're sore, no one cares. Everyone's always sore. You're going to be fine. And just say things like, I love the battalion. I want to do this for the rest of my life. Don't already be saying, I want to be a sniper. I want to go for commandos. I want to go for SASR. You'll get time for that. Stop, watch, listen, and you're going to be good. Apples. Don't just try and look for the guys you went through Singro with, unless they're actually in the platoon with you. Make the mates, the brothers that are in that platoon. I was told in April that infantry was full for the rest of 2025. I heard that too, 7-4. But today, when that guy got the phone call saying, no, it's all good, you can come in now, it's reopened for infantry. And then I got the conversation with the fella actually at the School of Infantry today as well, saying, no. Gallipoli platoon is now to like half a platoon, plus the guys that are going there today that'll do their BFD on Thursday to see if they're fit enough to go into session. Good to go. No beer, no alcohol, not good for prime health and condition. You're right, VK, but you have to at the start pretty much. You can't trust a man that doesn't drink at all. That's someone that's got secrets. Ryan Robinson, have ginger beers. They're beautiful, and you can sit on them forever. Hey, Kaz, we've chatted before. Just wanted to let you know that I had my defence interview last week and was lucky enough to get recommended for parachute rigger. Now I'm just waiting for it on a job offer. Well done, Ryan. Well done. I hope you can rig well. Ryan Robertson, and it's a beautiful location where riggers are too, down near Jarvis Bay. Any advice on what I should do in the meantime? Physically train. Physically train, listen to podcasts. Zero Limits is the best podcast because it's about Australians that have already succeeded or been through experiences, and you get to hear them and their calmness as Matty Morris extrapolates the information of their careers. Quartermaster, Ty Smith, I was so nervous at first, but once I got there, I was able to answer the questions. It's all tested knowledge. And we talked about the aptitude test. It's not to test if you're a dummy. It's to test if you actually stand out in some other areas. Sammy C says, can't wait, Kaz, starting my application soon. As a 17-year-old, counting down the days until I finish high school. Sam, just do it right. Pass those tests. Don't worry about the girl in the front row, unless she's really, really, that good. And then tell her, would she like you to write letters to her from Kapuka? Because if you do that, it might just be enough to put a burger ring on her finger. Kaz, are retreads still lids? It depends. Yes and no. Aussie, I'm keeping my private P rank on march out once at the battalion. It depends on what you're doing. If you went as a retread Aussie and you went from the infantry and you went to transport, you wouldn't be considered a lid. If you got out of transport and then you went to infantry, or you went from signals and then you went to infantry, you'd be considered a lid. And a lid is a term that is basically follow, shut up, listen, learn. That's basically what it is. It's not necessarily an insult unless you take it that way. It's because it allows you to make mistakes, and say that he doesn't necessarily know better. He's still a lid. I'll give you an example. Lids don't know what the fuck to do when they first go in a formation of helos and they get in there and not necessarily understand 2 minutes, 30 seconds, 1 minute, go. And when you go, you're not meant to get out and just run to the tree line like this dickhead did. You take 2 to 3 paces down, clear the skids, and then get ready to put your head down. So as the rotor wash comes and the helos take off, okay, you're still in a defensive location, and posture. And then when you get up, then you get off that airfield, right, and get into the bush, into an RV. So it's not about an insult. Callum, have you heard of people appealing their reapply and actually being successful? Their reapply? I don't know. I really don't know, mate. Remember, I left my career by having, a volcanic backside as well. Having Crohn's disease. That's how I lost my career. So sometimes the army has to, or always the army has to protect itself as an organisation from someone that doesn't know that they're not up to the task medically. It's not by no means is it personal, mate. By the way, Kaz, you are looking fantastic too. I hope all is shiny. VK, mate, this is an illusion at the moment. I have lost so much muscle and conditioning. The last few days I've been dropping at least 25 bombs on that Iranian fucking firebase, and it's mostly blood, mate. I can't go anywhere without knowing that I'm probably not going to make it back, man. Not going to make it back. It's like going out in town with only 2 bars of charge on your phone. You just don't do it. Do you think the AUKUS deal will keep going forward, Kaz? I'm honestly worried. It will keep going. And I think that Albanese, fuck yeah, is just so disrespected by world leaders, as probably a globalist, and for the things he's done and said in the past, and for some of his policies in Australia now, that he just doesn't have the respect. So when it's time, they'll talk to him. The big fish have got bigger deals on their plate at the moment, and this is him getting told, stay in your corner till we're ready to talk to you. It's not about the Australian people. The only trouble is, when he says the only trouble, Kaz, is the US only did half the job. One, if the enrichment process plant is still operational. I don't think it is. And Wingy, imagine if the word comes back that it's not, a second sortie's going in anyway. Yep. Matty, late to the party. That's okay. Matthew Drivers sounds like an actor. Ty Smith, recovery mechanic is priority. Guess no one wants to do it. Hey, Ty, that's not true. That's what my dad was in Vietnam. Ramey's a fantastic core of people. It's they're the opposite of regimental, but their job never ends. Yeah, good dudes. Be careful of your knees. You reckon we're going in or what, mate? No. I don't think America's going in either. America will not put boots on the ground. Callum, 100% didn't take their decision personal. I understand their reasoning and can see where their concerns come from. Callum, and it's very, very hard when this is your calling, man. I couldn't imagine what it must feel like. Let's see about you potentially putting applications in also for fire brigade, police, state, federal police, maybe paramedic, all of those things about mateship and calling, and see what comes back to you and says, we'll take you, brother. And that's going to determine the dog that will be yours. Yoshi says, also, Kaz, wasn't your butt problem mentioned in the Zero Limits podcast when you had your episode? Yeah, mate, it's been a really bad problem for a long time, mate. Hey, Voice, how you going, mate? Welcome to the Great Unwashed there, Private. Look, he's got his first little soldier beside his name. Welcome to the Great Unwashed. It's a pleasure to have you here. Because strange, there's a guy at my old unit that was allowed to join with Crohn's disease and has been for a few years. I could not possibly understand how you could let someone come in with Crohn's disease, because you cannot go on operations, you cannot go field, you have to be near a medical facility at all times, because if something goes wrong, you are done. Yep. Beat us. G'day, Kaz. When do you think it's too late to join? I'm working as an AMBO, mate, for starters. I don't know if you know this, Beatus, but paramedics and AMBOs, to me, they're angels of the streets. I think it is the most underappreciated role that every one of us will have interaction with at some time in our life, yet forget the face of the person that turned up. I absolutely respect you and your brothers and sisters, that are there when people scream into the night and you guys turn up and still keep you cool. So that's for starters. Absolute respect. Because when do you think it's too late to join? I'm working as an MBO unit at the moment, will be 30 when I get back home. I'm still keen on the ADF. Mate, 30 is nowhere near too old. It's not. What I would recommend to you, but again, and I'm not trying to appeal to people, but bam, get on the Black Legion tier of the Patreon so that we can start a conversation and start putting some wheels on your mission, on your calling, and take you from the maturity of ambos, paramedics, etc., and get some of those dark images out of your mind and replace that with the brotherhood, the uniform, the laughs, the Australian flag, and the pride, and I don't mean rainbows, of being with a different crew, and having this year, maybe Christmas, 8 weeks off while you get ready to have your trainee leave and escape winter. Thanks again, Voice, for coming to the Great Unwashed. Pleasure to have you here. PNDA, hey, Kaz, I'm in a position where I recently applied for infantry, but honestly, I don't think I'm mature enough to be in a role that literally means life or death, not me, but others around me. Okay. How old are you? If you're making that decision, again, are you at Kapuka yet? Have you actually gone to training yet? Right? Another person that should be on the Black Legion talking to me so that we can extrapolate understanding. Not only was I a platoon sergeant, not only am I a father, not only was I an instructor in 5 different occasions, including all core promotion courses, mate, we can unpeel that onion together, mate. I'll have all the answers for you. Hey, guys, I'm in a position where I recently applied for infantry. Okay, what should I do? What you should do is get on Patreon and give me a call. Ty, yeah, I bet they are top blokes planning on that or vehicle mechanic. Yep, absolutely. Navy veteran. Now you're confusing. The best course is the 1 MP battalion. Navy veteran is in an army unit. Go and work that out. I won't tell you what it means. Yoshi, poor bugger. Absolutely. Quartermaster 94, armoured vehicle crew. That's your what's your take on it? I believe at the moment, if I had a choice to join the army right now, Quartermaster 94, I'd be very much leaning towards Armoured Corps. Hoping to get into something similar to Hawkeyes or the future of reconnaissance, armoured reconnaissance. I think that they're going to have a fantastic role. The Gorilla King. I was raised by my single mother who has rheumatoid arthritis, Albanese. Okay. I'm not sure. I was raised by my single mother who has rheumatoid arthritis, Albanese. Fuck yeah. Ozanin, have we got any more subscribers? Is there anyone sitting out there afraid to actually make a comment at the moment? It's you're more than capable. All you got to do is subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing, and let us know who you are. We're a very friendly crowd here. Callum, think of it as 2 more years to train and prepare. G'day, Derek. That's a good name. Everyone, welcome Derek. Can we get some thumbs up for Derek? Callum, I'm currently in the final stages of Federal Police. Excellent. Also, I've done everything for Queensland Police, but pulled out, waiting to focus on a chance at military police. Okay, Callum, definitely try to stay with the Federal Police if you can. The options for the intelligence community after that, massive. I've got ex-military mates that are currently in the Federal Police and love it. Yeah, Chris, how's your little girl going, mate? Agreed about ambos. Yeah, Chris, we've always got to respect those that are greater than ourselves. And you know what? Some of the hottest women in uniform are in paramedics too. Beat us. Appreciate it, Kaz. I definitely want to do my part for the country, support the team that puts it. You can't do more than what you've done. Themselves on the line for our freedom just seems the least I can do to give back when they need it. Mate, you've already been paramedic and ambo driver. What more could we want from you? Waiting on my loo. Loo? Specify. You don't mean toilet? HD. Took me 11 months to get swearing the oath tomorrow. Patience is key, but fucking send emails and follow up. Yep, absolutely. HD. MC. Mate, what happened the other day? We could see you in the group chat, for the get-together for the Patreon get-together, but there was just no video and no microphone. Yeah, I wasn't sure what was going on with you. But congratulations, mate. Tomorrow, Oath or Affirmation, straight in. Kapuka in winter. That's not a fantasy. 7-4 PNDA, if you aren't 100%, go get a trade and come back when you're a bit more mature. And if you still want to serve, then do it. Yep, that's not bad. Go and work around men and then come back once you feel like, yep, I've got this. Or join Army Reserve and stay a tradie. Econo. Joshy, that'd be a good job. Flop Shark, that's a good name. Hey, Kaz, in high school and looking at combat engineers or infantry, what would you recommend? Well, I was useless with my hands unless you ask the ladies. I'd recommend going to engineers. If you're good at that sort of stuff, they work very, very, very hard. Okay. Look less at the word combat and look at the word engineers. Combat can be a bit of an elusive description of what engineers actually do. Infantry, you'll know if you want to be infantry. You'll have that little bit of a inside yourself, and yeah. Infantry is about a perpetual, what would we say, adventure with the minimum amount of equipment, but the most amount of application to mateship and to the actual military itself. Ozanan, Kaz, old mate with Crohn's, was allowed to join because the role he joined can only deploy on Op Resolute, which are only 2-week rotations. Look, I get that, Aussie. I get that, but why wouldn't you take someone without Crohn's disease? Because if something goes wrong with Crohn's disease and your bowel is actually perforated, you're not going to get off that plane, off that boat, you'll die on it. Letter of offer. You've got it, David. Benjamin Buckman. How competitive is ADFA? Seriously, and how do I gain an advantage against other candidates? ADFA, all that is basically university, university that follows on to then return of service obligation for officers. I think it's one of the premier installations for a career, and I'd totally recommend it. The war drums are starting to go, team. I'm going to have to get out of here. We lost several ginger beers in Afghanistan. Absolutely we did. Absolutely. I would say that engineers, without a doubt, are the continually hardest working corps in the Army. Hardest working corps on the daily. They'll never be finished their job. There's always another job to do. It's always hard yakka. But the skill sets and the ability to branch off into so many jobs would say it's probably one of the best corps you can go to. Paul, can vouch for your instructor skill. Had you as my instructor on Sub 1 Corporal. You told me my drill was... Paul Stoge apparently was one of my trainees. Can vouch for your instructor skill. Had you as my instructor on Sub 1 for Corporal. You told me my drill lesson was enhanced by the weather. That is gold. I wish you well, mate. What rank are you now, my young brother? I really hope you're doing well. And I really appreciate you being here, mate. Stodge. Kaz, what's life like living on base? It's excellent. And your daily routine in the Army. Guys, I've got to go. I've got to shit. I'm sorry. Massive ordnance. Penetrator. Trump, we're going in. Come. Break it up.